Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs is a presentation of Kentucky Proud.
It is like walking into a little Italian trattoria, maybe your grandmother's house if you happen to be Italian.
It's a different atmosphere than any other restaurant that I've been to in Louisville.
It's at the Italian table, and it's a dining experience like none other in the Bluegrass.
It's extremely unique.
And it's just like if you were in Italy.
Chef Gina Stipo wanted to create a different concept for an Italian restaurant, and boy did she. This restaurant only has 2 tables with 10 seats each.
It's communal seating. You can bring a party of 10 or a party of 20, or you can just bring you and your spouse or come alone and join the table.
They'll pair strangers together and you'll walk out best friends.
Food and wine really bring people together.
It's only open a few nights a week for 1 seating.
You come in and nobody's chasing you out. You've got the table for the evening.
You're surrounded by Italian decor and antiques, and the aroma of your dinner that's cooking in the kitchen. It's all made from scratch with a lot of local ingredients.
We're trying really hard here in Kentucky to eat locally, to eat what's fresh and what's in season, and that really is reflective of the Italian culture.
Gina has a close connection to Italian culture. She went to school there as a young child and returned later in life teaching cooking classes. Then she fell in love with Kentucky.
And I'm thrilled to be here. The people in Louisville support local. They support small businesses, small restaurants, and they're curious and real foodies.
One of those curious foodies is my broadcast partner, Tim Laird. Tim?
You walk through the door, you feel like you've left Crescent Hill and walked into a home in Italy.
Thank you for saying that. That's exactly how I want you to feel when you walk in here.
and of course the food will back it up as well.
It's amazing and authentic, from the pastas to the sauces and salads like this one called panzanella.
Panzanella is a Tuscan bread salad. The secret is the bread.
The bread is the base of the salad, and the secret to it is that it gets dunked in salt water, just the way peasants did it in Tuscany centuries ago.
You have to have a bread that's going to stand up to the tomatoes, the wet ingredients of the cucumbers. What I like to do is I start with some water that has a little salt in it. I just dip the bread and then squeeze all the water out. And then it pops right back out.
Look at that, okay. And then you just tear it
up?
up?
You just tear it into pieces.
By hand?
By hand.
All right.
And then really it's super simple. We've got tomatoes, we've got cucumbers, some red onion or salad onion. You have basil.
Actually from the garden right out front.
Right, from the garden right out front. All of our herbs come from our garden. And I like a little chopped Italian parsley.
Oh, nice.
Italian parsley adds a really nice. So we've salted the bread, but we haven't salted the vegetables. So we're just going to put a little salt on that. Now, Tim, the secret ingredient, the most important part of this salad is to have really fabulous extra virgin olive oil.
Very good.
The one that I use is from Tuscany.
A lot of floral flavors in that.
A lot of floral, and also peppery. Now, you would think that you would put salt and pepper in this, but the really great Tuscan olive oil it has a natural pepperiness to it. You want to toss this?
Actually, you're doing a great job. Okay, let me do a little tossing here, as long as it doesn't go all over.
We're going to do a little bit more extra virgin olive oil here.
All right, get that in there. This looks delicious. Oh, that is absolutely gorgeous. Just bring on a little wine and we're set to go.
The panzanella salad was delicious. It was so fresh.
This salad was excellent.
Doesn't that look good, delicious? Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Salty, sweet flavor with the tomatoes and cucumbers. It was amazing.
Now, how easy. We can do this at home.
Here's something else you can do at home, made from scratch: fresh ravioli and tomato sauce.
We always make our pasta from scratch
Fresh
every day.
Pasta. It's so good. And we started with a little well of flour, and in the center some eggs.
Right, so we're using duck egg. Duck eggs are fabulous. I get them locally from Chelsea's Duck Eggs. She's got like 200 ducks, and she supplies me with all the duck eggs I need. Duck eggs have a really big yolk, and the white is very clear, unlike a chicken egg, which is a little bit more yellow. So we start with a well and we add our eggs, and I'm just using 2 fingers.
Very fancy mixer you've got there.
Right, exactly. Now you can use a fork, you can use a beater or a mixer and a dough hook.
You're doing great with that.
But this is super simple. And then you just, and there's less to clean this way. You know, you're just scraping the board, and that's it.
And you just keep working that in? And
Just keep working it in. I'm using 00 flour from Italy, and that's 3/4 of a cup of flour to 1 egg. That's a standard way to start. It really depends on how big the eggs are, and these are big duck eggs, and how humid the day is. So all of that comes into play. And we just want to knead it until it's very smooth and satiny. This is the workout.
it is a workout.
You know, it's more than just your arms and your hands.
You're getting everything into it. Your
entire
body is going into
that. Whole body,
that.
Exactly. And then you have to rest it.
Yes, that's
rest
very
it for
important.
5 to 10 minutes.
Okay.
After a short rest, Gina puts the dough through a pasta machine, getting progressively thinner and thinner sheets.
This is my 1940s pasta machine.
And it's still rolling.
Once you get a piece of dough that's nice and smooth and satiny, you're ready to go on. The ravioli sheet should be very soft so that it will stick together, but it's always a good idea to use a brush and the slightest amount of water. You need to be able to close those two together to hold in the filling. Then we're going to fold our sheet over. You want to form the pasta around the filling. You want to get all the air out. Form that around like that. Then we use this little ring to just pull the filling together. It just makes it look a little prettier. We're going to use my antique ravioli cutter.
From here, they're ready to be boiled, which we'll get to in just a minute.
All right, so now we're going to make the sauce for the ravioli, and this is easy too. I see you've got a hot pan, a little bit of olive oil, and some minced garlic goes in.
This sauce is really great extra virgin olive oil, garlic, tomatoes, salt, and at the very end we're going to hit it with basil. I just turned the fire on, so the pan's not hot yet.
Because you don't want to burn that.
Right. You know, a lot of recipes say get your pan and your oil hot and then add your garlic, but those little gentle pieces of garlic have something to add, and if you throw them in the hot oil, it just sears them and fries them, and it scares them.
That is a great secret to know.
So we turn the fire up really hot, and as soon as that garlic and oil start to sizzle, we will just swish them around the pan, and then we're going to add our tomatoes. And just when it's ready for you to go to the next step, it lightens in color, and so it sort of becomes a little whiter.
Oh, so it's going to show you by color when it's ready.
Right. Okay, Tim, you want to go ahead and dump the tomatoes
I
in?
would absolutely love to. The whole dish, right?
Whole
Everything,
dish.
all these tomatoes go in?
Absolutely.
Look at that. These look like fresh cherry tomatoes that you have.
Yep. And top. Now I like to add a little bit of parsley in a lot of different vegetable dishes. When the vegetable is sauteing, that parsley, Italian parsley, adds a really lovely flavor. Also adds some beautiful color. Just let the tomatoes heat through, and then we can stop. And then when our ravioli is boiled, it's going to go right out of the water, right into the sauce.
Right into the sauce.
Fresh-made ravioli doesn't take long to boil. In fact, just a couple of minutes.
Here we go.
That was about, I think, 90 seconds is all, maybe a minute and a half to 2 minutes.
2 minutes. The thinner the pasta, the less time it takes. We just put it right into the sauce, extra virgin olive oil.
Oh my gosh.
And basil. We plate that up.
Beautiful.
A little Parmigiano.
Fresh, delicious, made from scratch. I guess as you would say in Italian, this is cucina amore, kitchen of love. And you're bringing the love with yourself and the food. Wow, fantastic. Oh, thank you.
Thanks.
The ravioli at the Italian table is spectacular.
It was absolutely delicious.
It was amazing.
And wait until you see what Gina's making for dessert.
We've got a great dessert. Tell us about this one, Gina.
This is a very simple cake that was not invented in a restaurant in Italy like panna cotta or like tiramisu. Those are more restaurant foods. This is something that is made at home.
And this recipe works no matter what time of year it is. Just use whatever fresh fruit is in season.
It's a cake that you can make. You've got a lot of peaches in the summertime. Don't try to make a peach cake in December. It's not going to taste all that good.
No.
In December, you're going to go with apples or
right?
with pears. Apples especially, you see a lot, apple cake a lot in Tuscany. It's really, really popular.
But whatever's in season or whatever you find,
Right.
use that.
And these are local. Whatever is in season and is right. So you melt a stick of butter, which is what this is here. 1 stick of butter, to 1 cup of sugar.
Get that all mixed up together. So 1 cup of sugar to 1 stick of
Right.
butter goes in.
And the butter melts the sugar, and then we're going to add our eggs.
2 eggs go into the butter and sugar and get whisked until the batter is smooth. Then Gina sifts in 6 good spoonfuls of flour and a little baking powder.
Fold that in or mix it.
And look how nicely you've done that. No lumps. I always seem to get some lumps, but you sifted that nicely, so.
Right. And then we're going to add our peaches. We're just going to mix this together. Butter the baking dish, a little bit of parchment paper down.
And from there, it's into the oven, gently at 375 degrees for about 40 minutes until the cake turns golden brown delicious.
That's a cake that's easy as pie, Chef. What do you think? You know, this looks lovely. I'll tell you what, plus you've added a couple of garnishes to this.
Just some powdered sugar on top and some mint leaves from the garden.
Very good. And I like your other ideas. You can add a little ice cream maybe,
Yeah,
or
if you want to put some vanilla ice cream on the side, maybe just a scoop of whipped cream or some peach ice cream.
Or just a spoon. And you're set to go. This looks absolutely fabulous. Just one of the many desserts that you do here. Tuscany, right here on Frankfurt Avenue.
You don't have to go to Italy to have that. You can just come to At the Italian Table.
It was an amazing meal.
If you haven't been here, you should absolutely come down here.
Never had anything as nice.
Wow, what an interesting way to go out to eat. And it goes without saying, if you want to check out At the Italian Table for yourself, you'll want to make a reservation well in advance. You can get more Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs online. Simply find us on Facebook, Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs, or Instagram and Twitter at Secrets TV. For Tim Laird, I'm Kevin Harned. We'll see you next time on Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs.
Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs is a presentation of Kentucky Proud.